So when I work with early stage entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, I always get asked a question about the sort of foundational elements of brand building and what you should consider doing first. And whenever I get asked that question, it brings me back to the whole journey of when everything started. For context, I left my full time role in July 2024 and said to myself that I am going to embark on the mission of working for myself, becoming a solopreneur, and building a seven figure brand. And it was on January 2026 where I then decided that I'm going to be uploading one long form video every single day for 1,000 days to document the whole process of what I'm building and really just using it as a way to amplify my brand whilst being able to help other people in the process of brand building as well. So if you are interested in this video, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe because what I will be sharing in this video may just be something that will put you in a great position when it comes down to brand building and setting the foundations correct for you to not only build a successful brand, but then to establish a strong personal brand and a business brand as a result. So, the one thing that I would recommend for anyone who is looking to embark on this journey and leaving their role to pursue entrepreneurship full time or whether it's a side hustle, whatever the case, the main thing that I would advise is to change your job title, right? Change your job title. And the reason why I say that, the idea of that is a bit deeper. So bear with me in this video. But ultimately, you have to realize that when it comes down to the workplace and 9 to 5 and corporate, whatever the case, you were never in a position to give yourself the title. The title was given to you. And the way that it was presented is your title was given to you based on merit, right? For context, I started my career as a graduate trainee at a PR agency, right? And I worked my way up in terms of what is it? Uh, account executive, senior account executive, account manager, senior account manager, and then I left. I wanted to sort of go up the ranks and reach to the heights of a director and all those sort of things as well. But ultimately, I just left before then. I just felt that it was no longer aligned with what I wanted to do and who I wanted to help and the impact that I wanted to make. And in that process, I then realized that the idea of the title was an interesting one for me because I was someone who was very much sort of fixated on the idea of having the title, as I felt that having a sort of title that signaled a level of seniority would then make me feel, I suppose, better about myself. It sounds weird, it sounds crazy, but I'm just speaking honestly about that actual aspect of things. But for me, it just felt that having that sort of title just made me feel more like I was doing the right thing as far as a job is concerned, and I was in making moves in the right direction, which in hindsight was completely false, right? And the way that it's been presented in that way, I really believe that firstly, the first reason as to why you should change your job title is because it allows you to redevelop your identity. And for me, in the process of now being a brand authority strategist, right, that identity shift for me was something that was necessary for me to continue to do the things that I'm able to do now. The way that I am able to produce the content as well as client delivery and then putting myself out there is based on me redeveloping my identity. The identity that I had from when I was working a corporate job, a 9 to 5, is not the identity that I align with now. I have become a solopreneur in all aspects of the word, in terms of me doing the work, in terms of me creating the content, in terms of me collaborating with different people, in terms of me creating my own methodology and my own system of how I work. I really built this whole ecosystem around my world that I've developed, that it wouldn't seem right for me to then align this new way of living and the new way of working with a previous identity, i.e., a previous job title that I felt at the time resonated when it really didn't, and it only kind of kept me back in that sense. So that's the first thing I would say in terms of being able to reestablish your identity in that side of things. And then secondly, for me, is being able to redevelop your narrative. And when you then decide that you are going to redevelop your narrative, you have then ultimately decided this is going to be your journey and this is how you are going to work towards your goals. And you would have heard me talk about the idea of talking about the past, present, and future of your brand and how you should be able to incorporate all of them in order to build your brand narrative in a way that makes the most sense. And in order for you to then be able to move forward into the future of you brand building, it is in your best interest to have a new job title that aligns with that new narrative that you are setting yourself on and embarking on the journey for people to then disassociate yourself from who you once were to who you are now. And that is the most incredible part about the idea of changing your job title, because if you're changing your job title, you are now in charge of your narrative and building your narrative to take things in the way that you want to take it, right? It makes you a lot more accountable for yourself because you know that whatever you are doing based on this job title signifies all the necessary steps that you are taking towards your end goal. And then lastly, in that sense, for me, it's always about the idea that you are creating your own digital footprint in that aspect. You are now establishing your new footprint. And as I talk about the idea of search engine optimization, SEO, and then generative engine optimization, GEO, with the rise of AI, you want to be in a position where, with this job title that you are now presenting to the world, it is cohesive with everything digitally and it lines up with everything that you are looking to do moving forward into your future career. And I think that once you then establish your brand and you are building your brand and you build it based on a job title that you are putting forward, that then creates that foundational level where you are then able to build from there. And then it always allows you to ask the question to yourself, why did you choose this job title? Why did you decide to call yourself this as a job, as a career? And that allows you to then develop the additional foundational levels of your brand narrative that you wouldn't have been able to develop otherwise if you decided to keep your job title the same. So for me, that was just a quick overview of what I would always advise if you are looking to build your brand and establish your brand in the hopes that you start working for yourself or you start working full time on these particular things that you care more about, because it helps a lot with being able to really shift that mindset and that shift that identity based on you being able to have the choice to change your job title. And when I decided to do that, then it really allowed me to walk into my new role and my new responsibilities and my new identity in order to be that person who is meant to be building and working towards building a seven-figure brand in 1,000 days. So I hope this video was useful. I hope you found it useful. And I hope that it allows you to understand the importance of really building those foundations in terms of being able to work on your brand narrative. And for me, I feel like your brand narrative really starts from your job title, how you then define yourself in the industry or your niche in terms of how you'll be setting foot for the foreseeable future as well. So let me know if this video was useful, and I hope that it was. Please make sure to like, make sure you comment and let me know if it was the case, if you enjoyed it, and make sure that you subscribe to tune in with more videos. But on that note, I will catch you tomorrow. Peace out. Look after yourself.